My own judgment of myself was harsh because I believed I was a hardworking, perfectionist, people pleasing, coping sort of person. So to find myself on my knees was really, really horrible. And I put off getting help until things were really, really bad. So with hindsight, obviously, I could have got some help sooner.
I think the hardest things that I encountered in life through feeling this kind of sense of worthlessness and inferiority was that I just never felt like I was as good as other people or as deserving as other people. So I never, even as a young child, I never kind of put myself forward for anything. I found that in school, I would never ask the teachers. I didn't feel like I deserved their help. So I kind of, I think because I was clever enough, I did well enough at school. But if I hadn't have been, I think that would have held me back a lot because I was never wanted to be in the limelight, never wanted to be seen. It made me feel like I ought to stay invisible. So I kind of never put myself out there, never put myself forward. And I think that's a great pity in some ways because my chief kind of passion in life was music. Well, still is music. And just kind of used to let opportunities go. I could have put myself forward for groups and orchestras and things, but I just felt like I wasn't as good as other people. So it's kind of, I've just let opportunities go and, which I have kind of quite a lot of regrets about. So yeah, and then I just kind of carried that sense of inferiority right into my adult life, and it's caused me a lot of problems in my career as well. I started off as a classroom teacher, which I loved. I was quite at home with a classroom full of children, but when it came to dealing with adults, like meetings and staff meetings and planning and things like that, I just used to think my ideas would be rubbish. I'd never put forward any ideas because I was so afraid of people rejecting them. And it was like I was carrying my mother's voice with me because she was the one that was so critical and made me feel so worthless right from the word go. And I just feel like I carried that right through my life, and it affected more or less everything. It caused me a lot of social anxiety as well as I got older, and sort of going to parties and things like that. I just had this sense that I was this worthless kind of boring person that nobody would want to talk to or would find at all interesting. So I just used to sit. I was a good listener, but I would never talk to people about myself or about my life because I just thought that they're just going to find me so boring. And it was really, and it was really depressing, really hard because I could see what I was doing, but I didn't feel like I had any way to get over it because it was such a big thing in my head that I'm this boring, worthless person. I think I was still carrying this sense of being a bit worthless and a bit inferior for much longer after that because I didn't really understand where it came from. And it was only in the therapy that I've been doing in the last 5-6 years that I think because a lot of where the shame came from was not really anything that my parents actually did. There was more the things that they didn't do. Like they never praised me. They never told me I'd done anything well. They never celebrated anything that I'd done. But when there's something that's not there, you can't really see it. And it was only the therapy that I've been doing recently where I started to unpick all of that. And I started to see that it wasn't really anything that was done to me. It was more the things that were missing in my life that had caused all that kind of shame. And I think once I understood that, it kind of all got better quite quickly, actually. It was just the understanding of where it had all come from. And then I just miraculously feel like I'm equal to other people and I'm as deserving as anyone else to get my needs met or, to ask for things. And it was really just finding that understanding that was the major step, I think.